What do you think the purpose of religion in life is?
I'd say one of the things is to be able to form parameters or boundaries. Because a lot of people think like, yeah, I want to be free. Like, yeah, that's great. Freedom is great. But true freedom comes with parameters and restrictions. Like the best freedoms. And some people are like, no, I don't know about that. Well, it's like, if you really think about it, the best freedoms come with parameters. So it's like, if you want the total freedom to drive a car, you have to get a license. You have to make sure your car is inspected. You have to make sure all these steps are taken for you to have the freedom to
make sure that other people follow the rules.
Right. And if you don't, it's like chaos ensues. Because when people are left to their own devices, you see a lot of disarray and chaos and confusion. I think religion to life is important for in that aspect is parameters. And a lot of people will deny this, but everyone's religious. Everyone. And I'm not talking about just with like, oh, I believe in this God or that God, or I follow this religion or that religion. Some may even say, like, I don't have a religion. Well, that's a religion in and of itself as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everyone has values and parameters for themselves so that they can enjoy the life that they want to live. And I think that's the most important thing that people forget. I'll give you one like illustrative example. It's like if you have a fish in a body of water and like he sees humans out enjoying themselves and he's like, oh, I want to do that. It's like, well, no, you have like 95% of the ocean in our world has been uncharted. Like you have all this freedom in this ocean. Why do you want to be out there? Like why are you so preoccupied with what they're doing? Why not like enjoy the freedom that you have down there? It's like, well, no, I want to be out there with them. And so it's like, you go out there. If a fish comes out of the water, you pull him out and he's like on the shore or on a boat and he's flopping around. It looks like he's having fun, but he's not. He's choking.
Yeah, he's dying.
He's dying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you go outside of your parameters, it may look like you're having a good time, but you're choking on, like you're choking. And like, you see that a lot in like the celebrity world, where it's like they're living this like wild lifestyle. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have fun, like enjoy life. But there's some moments where there may be something in your mind that says, oh, they might be going a little too far. And it looks like they're enjoying themselves, but on the inside, it's like they're in disarray, they're deteriorating. And you see that, and it always happens where you see at some point they hit this rock bottom moment. It's because they didn't honor their parameters. They didn't honor their values that they first came in with, you know?
Yeah.
So it's important.
That sounds a little bit to me like, you know, the quote, comparison is the theft of joy. Right?
That's so profound. Absolutely.
I'm a profound guy. So, you know, because and my next question was, why do you think so many people are unhappy today? Now, we haven't seen each other since like 2000, probably maybe 19, 18. Mm-hmm. Probably about the time I was supposed to get married, right? Yeah. So we haven't talked, there's a lot of stuff we haven't talked about. But why do you think so many people, I feel like people now are more unhappy than they were 10 years ago. Yeah. Do you feel like that? Do you know why?
I think part of the reason, I would say one of the reasons is they're unfulfilled. That's one. So I'll give you one. I'll give you this thing. If you get 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night and you go to work and you're falling asleep at work, you are not tired.
You're uninspired.
You're uninspired and unfulfilled. And it's not the fault of the job because there's other people there who are just living life. Yeah. But for you, it may not be where you need to be. 2, again, comparison is the thief of joy. I think the way our society is run through the filter of social media, it's convinced people or it's deluded people into this sense that my life is not good because it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like what I see. You know what's funny about, I agree with that totally. Yeah. And that's one of the things I wanted to get to. Yeah. But it's funny. So like we're logical, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, the majority of people are just posting their posed best moments. Yes. And listen. And you didn't see the 80 other takes that didn't look good. Yeah, but I mean, listen, like you ever go on vacation? Maybe you have. Yeah. I mean, I've been on vacations and like maybe 60% of it was good. Yeah. But 40% you fought. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But you only post the pictures of what looks really good. Absolutely. You know, and you know other people are doing the same thing. Yep. You know, depending on who you're with. And we're logical and we know that. You're only posting the best pictures online. Yep. So like, but for some reason, I don't think me personally, you can't wrap your brain around that. Like you do, but you don't. Yes. And it creates this sort of delusion that, oh, like their life is perfect. Their life is this, and my life's not like that. Because you're experiencing the real take when you're only seeing that small percentage of like they're great. And so being happy in life is not all about the fact that you are void of any difficulties. Your life doesn't have any. No, it's like, I like to differentiate between joy and happiness, because happiness is circumstantial. You know, I won the lottery, I'm happy. But then when that money runs out, you'll be back to square one. Well, you'll be unhappy.
And if you didn't have the parameters of money in the first place, then you're going to be broke.
You're going to be broke in no time, you know? But joy is regardless of circumstance. It's like, if you take a can of Coca-Cola or Sprite, a full can of Coke unopened, and you stand on it, that thing's not crushing. It's not going to be crushed. That doesn't mean it doesn't feel the pressure. It doesn't mean that it doesn't feel the weight of a whole person standing on it. And some people have the weight of the world on their shoulders and they're not crushed. Why? Because they have this resolve within them that whatever I'm going through, I'm going to be okay. Like, I'm learning something.
And they can get that from scripture.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And if you take that same can and you empty it out, if something stands on it, it's going to feel all that weight, all that pressure, but it's going to be crushed. And so you need to be filled up with joy. You need to have this happiness that's regardless of circumstance. Because if it's circumstantial, it's always going to, anything in life can be taken away. Like COVID was such a good example of that, where it's like, in a moment's notice and a day's notice, okay, everything's shut down. It's like, what? Like, everything's like, yeah, we're shutting down. And it's like, in a moment's notice, it can be taken away. Are you still going to have this joyful resolve, or is your happiness attached to things and things that you do? You know, so it's important that we find things that fulfill us. And a good way to fulfill yourself is to help fulfill other people.
Yeah, I think for me, like, definitely helping other people makes me feel the most joyous. And one of the reasons people ask me about city council, like, why do you want to run? Well, I like helping people. It's the next logical step in what I do, right? You start as a martial arts instructor, a physical therapist, weight loss transformations, as a small business owner who has employees, who has international contractors. Yep. Well, I can just help more people doing it this way. And it really comes down to that, because I feel the most fulfilled helping other people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if the stuff that I did, if I just made money selling vacuums, and nothing against the vacuum salesman.
Yeah, they might love what they,
But, like, that's not helping people live a better life.
Right.
I mean, in some little instance, maybe, but, like, making them no longer diabetic, or making them more secure when they go out to their car.
Absolutely.
Or giving them a community of people who they can feel, like, secure in.
Yeah.
Listen, most people live in disempowered lives.
Yeah.
So if you can make them feel like
absolutely,
they're number one, like, it's just that, man, it's that.
It just brings this different level of, fulfillment and joy, that knowing that, man, like, I helped someone, and that much more encouraging because I was doing it myself. I was doing it with my authentic self. I wasn't pretending to be something else that I'm not.
And that's what we did really well in therapy.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Marc Bochner. Don't forget to check out my new book, Pug Learns to Believe.